Hi, Bao. So I've got your 2 essays here on creativity and education as well. I can see as well that you're a little bit concerned about your word count, so we'll see if there is anything that we can maybe make shorter or more concise in order to address that as well. So your first question was, some people think that schools have to be more entertaining, while others think that their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. Okay, and it's good at the top there that you've done a little plan, which is ideal in order to keep your essay logical and coherent, to know where you're going before you start. It's good. Okay, so let's have a look at your introduction. Education is considered crucial to young adults, but to make the tuition more enjoyable has sparked a controversial debate among Westerners. I believe that teaching should be more appealing to the students and allowing for a greater potential motive and focus. In this essay, I will elaborate on the issues regarding the style of teaching using evidence from BBC and recent studies to support my argument. Okay, well done. So, a good structure for your introduction. You've outlined the question, you have given your opinion, and also you have said what the essay will do. Now, if you are very concerned about your word limit here, your introduction could be an area where you can make things slightly more concise and gain back some of the words that you've gone over by. So, education is considered crucial to young adults, but to make the tuition more enjoyable has sparked a controversial debate amongst Westerners. Okay, so I would say that that first half of the sentence is not actually needed here, because it's not something that is mentioned in the question. It's more about the type of education that we're looking at. So I would suggest that we start with making tuition more enjoyable has sparked a controversial debate amongst Westerners. Okay, so straight in, addressing the question, not adding anything that we don't need. Okay, and then I believe that teaching should be more appealing to students. To develop greater potential. Okay, so we could take out motive and focus here as well. So again, they are kind of additional. So I believe that teaching should be more appealing to students to develop greater potential. Okay, because although these sentences are short, we can develop them later in the essay in our main part. So our introduction is mainly just to, as it suggests in the name, to just give a brief taste of what is coming. Okay. In this essay, I will elaborate on the issues regarding the style of teaching, using evidence from the BBC and recent studies to support my argument. Okay, now we've already got elaborate, so technically we don't need support my argument. So in this essay, I will elaborate on the issues regarding the style of teaching, using evidence from the BBC and recent studies, full stop. Okay, so again, making it a little bit shorter there. Firstly, although pupils attend school for the main purpose of education, okay, so know the here, although pupils attend school for the main purpose of education, professors should engage the students' attention. Okay, good. Now, we want to take out the and use students plural possessive, so students apostrophe, students' attention, so more than one student. This is due to the fact that young adults have a shorter attention span compared to adults, know the, and gazing at a textbook all day can be daunting to the young adolescent mind. Okay, adolescent, OLESCENT, adolescent mind. Okay. So, because we've already mentioned young adults here, I would take out this last bit. So, shorter attention span compared to adults, and gazing at a textbook all day can be daunting, full stop. So not this last bit, as that is extra. Okay, for instance, recent findings with an S that were published on BBC, this one is normally bbc.co.uk, claimed that students who are more engaged in their studies tend to acquire better grades compared to those not paying attention. Instead of acquire, I would say to get better grades compared to those not paying attention. Thus, teachers should ideally incorporate newer and creative ways of passing on knowledge. So, thus, teachers should ideally incorporate newer and more creative ways of educating. Okay, so here we're instead of using 4 words, we're using 2, of educating. Okay, good. Secondly, good, nice start to your paragraph. Having fun whilst learning will not only benefit teens in the short term, but it will also establish a positive motive for learning. Okay. This is because once a child discovers how ecstatic they feel, F-E-E-L, when gaining new knowledge, they will want to continue this. Okay. Now, ecstatic is a little bit strong here. It's an extreme adjective, so it means really, really excited. What I would say instead is once a child discovers how good they feel when learning, instead of gaining new knowledge, when learning, they will want to continue to do this. Okay. An ideal example to this theory is present in a recent Stanford experiment. Results showed that teaching an animal with a more eye-catching technique made them thirstier for knowledge. Hence, improving the kids' learning method will affect them long term. Okay, we could say that it will be more efficient as well, because that seems to be the point that you're getting at here, is that with more eye-catching techniques and materials, students and the animals in the experiment tend to want to learn, so it's a more efficient way of teaching. Okay, in conclusion, I firmly believe that allowing students to enjoy learning and teaching with a more uplifting style has been shown to benefit children more. Okay, because of the words that we've taken out, it would be a little bit shorter now. I would suggest developing your conclusion slightly more, just with possibly your opinion about the future of entertaining education. Okay, or slightly more development of your own opinion, just to round off the essay. Hopefully that helps in terms of cutting down the word count a little bit. The best thing to do, because the word count is so small, is to be really ruthless when you look through your essay. So anything that is extra, that doesn't really show, for example, a very good structure or very impressive vocabulary, we can cut out. Okay, this will have 2 effects. One of them will be that your essay will be very concise, but in a good way. So showing the examiner that you can get to the point in a short word count. Okay, and you can see what is necessary. And the second thing, which is also a benefit, is that it will be easier for you to check if you don't have lots of extra bits that you don't need. Okay, so hopefully that helps out slightly with the word count. In terms of corrections, it is mainly this area, so where we've got extra information that we don't need, that we're taking out, and a couple turns of phrase as well. Okay, so look back through that one, take out the extra bits that we've spoken about, and see if that helps you to improve your word limit. But yeah, good work on this one, well done. So this one is your second piece on doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. So we're comparing enjoyable activities with reading. Okay, to what extent do you agree? Use reasons and specific examples to explain your answer. Okay, and I can see at the top as well that you've done a nice little plan there, so you know where your essay is going. I would always recommend to plan before you do your essays, even if it is only very short. Obviously you don't have a lot of time, but it's best to just take a minute or so to plan where your essay is going. Otherwise, when it becomes more stressful, you tend to lose the train of your essay. So this is a really good skill to be using. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at your introduction. Children gain new traits in a variety of ways, not just from textbooks. I believe that there are a variety of quintessential skills that can be acquire outside of writing. In this essay, I will convey my ideas regarding this issue with examples from school techniques and recent university studies. Okay, so this one is a shorter introduction, which is good. Let's have a look at the language a bit closer. So, children gain new skills instead of traits. Traits are more parts of our personality, so personality traits, whereas here we're talking more about skills. So, children gain new skills in a variety of ways, not just from textbooks. I believe that there are a variety of quintessential skills that can be acquired outside of writing. Okay, so unclear why you've got writing here, because the question is on reading, so we want to make it really clear that we've understood the question. I believe that there are a variety of quintessential skills that can be learnt from various activities, for example. Okay. Also, this adjective quintessential skills doesn't sit too well here. I would suggest something like useful skills or invaluable skills. Okay, just to kind of stick along that education topic specific vocabulary. Okay, in this essay, I will convey my ideas regarding this issue with examples from school techniques and recent university studies. I would say here, in this essay, I will convey my ideas regarding this issue, supported by examples from school techniques and recent university studies. Okay. Firstly, kids interacting with others similar in age group. So here, we don't need this comma here. So kids interacting with others similar in age group, or similar in age, with others similar in age, gain valuable social knowledge. This, comma, in theory, comma, is impossible to acquire from books. This is because these adolescents not only utilize the art of socializing, but also put it into practice. Okay, good. So this is because I would say children here. Children not only utilize the art of socializing, but also put it into practice. For example, in the UK, the majority of primary schools start out by allowing their students to interact with one another and not introducing textbooks until the 3rd year. Okay, well done. Good. Therefore, building this foundation of social conduct may better them in the future. So no comma here. Good, well done. Okay. I would suggest we put, therefore, building this foundation of social conduct without textbooks may better them in the future. Okay. Or may benefit them in the future. That way you're linking directly to the question, making it clear to the examiner that you're linking to the question all the time. Okay. Secondly, students who participate, no S because we're plural, participate in projects have a more hands-on learning. This could be considered a more eye-catching method of teaching. Okay. So, secondly, students who participate in projects experience hands-on learning. And hands-on is hyphenated, so hands-on learning. Full stop. Okay. This could be considered a more eye-catching method of teaching. This is due to the fact that children may enjoy instead of adore, enjoy, E-N-J-O-Y, enjoy the fun side of learning and find it daunting to read paragraphs all day long. For instance, a recent Oxford University study has discovered, because it's singular, has discovered that young adults who learn in various styles performed greater in exams than those who focused purely on reading materials. Okay, now, Oxford University study has discovered that young adults who learn with various methods instead of styles, no comma, performed better in exams than those who focus purely on reading materials. Okay, good. Thus, focusing more on first-hand experience may lead the child to excel in the future. Okay, good. First-hand experience. I think what we should use here is hands-on experience. Okay, rather than first-hand experience. It's got a slightly different meaning coming across. So, thus focusing more on hands-on experience may lead the child to excel in the future. Okay, in conclusion, based on the fact that there is evidence proving a better outcome for pupils and methods than primary schools have implemented, I firmly agree that there are skills just as important that can only be acquired beyond reading materials. Okay, this one is quite a long sentence. I would suggest making it a little bit shorter there. So, in conclusion, based on the fact that there is evidence proving a better outcome for pupils and methods that primary schools have implemented. Okay, I would say, based on the evidence outlined, I firmly agree that there are important skills that can only be acquired beyond reading materials. Okay, and then, hopefully, you might have a little bit of space just to give a possible prediction for the future, which is a good way to finish your essay, okay, because we've cut out quite a lot of words at this point. Okay, so it could be that you say, I firmly agree that there are important skills that can only be acquired beyond reading materials, and that this is crucial for the future of education, for example. Okay, but yes, 2 very good pieces of writing. I can see, as we said at the start, that you're concerned about word limits, so hopefully that has helped you to see where we can make things slightly shorter, where we can take out parts that are perhaps surplus to what we're trying to say, and making our points very clear and concise, which really is the goal of this essay writing. But yeah, 2 great pieces of work that clearly you've worked very hard on, so very well done indeed. Okay.